Hello, I'm Luke Abraham, and you might know me as the coolest guy around. Let's blaze through this. I said I would do a video essay for Hazbin, not a drawing video, so what happened? Well, while I was in a call, my friend blurted out to me,
Hey, did you know the second season of Hazbin comes out on October 29th?
"What? No? No, I did not know that." Everything I had to say and complain about was about Season 1, so I have no idea if those problems would be fixed in Season 2. It'd be pretty annoying to talk about an issue I have with the show, only for everyone to spam in the comments, but in Season 2, blah 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 happens, right? So here's what we'll do. To make sure we're still talking about Hazbin, like I said, we're going to do another drawing video. One that, even if it ends up outdated, would still be fine since it's just my own designs for something. It's subjective, you know? Then I'll end up doing the video essay later, after Season 2 is done with.
Well, if you know so much, what do you think it takes to get into heaven?
Of course, we'll start with a big fat spoiler warning for Season 1 of Hazbin Hotel. You don't need to worry about me spoiling Season 2 because as of writing the script, I haven't watched it. And even though me and my friends will watch it as it comes out, I won't add anything from Season 2 into the video, so don't worry about that. Oh, and I'm gonna say this now. I've talked about mostly family-friendly shows in my video so far, but this show is not. Like, unapologetically not. So if you're one of the many comments I've gotten to stop swearing as much, this is definitely not the video for you. Alright? Now, to the rest of you degenerates. If you don't know what Hazbin Hotel is, the show is about Charlie, the daughter of Lucifer and Princess of Hell, trying to run a rehab center for demons that will help them save their souls and escape hell. Yes, it's a rehab center, not an actual hotel. The hotel part is just to make it feel more welcoming, I guess. Our main cast that runs the hotel is Charlie, the founder of the hotel, Vaggie, Charlie's girlfriend, who acts as security for the hotel, Alastor, who acts as the facility manager, you probably know him as the latest Tumblr sexy man, Husk, the desk clerk and bartender, and Niffty, who takes care of cooking, cleaning, and pests. As for the guests, the hotel only has 2 in the first season. Angel Dust, a particular kind of video star, and more importantly for the topic of this video, Serpentious, an engineer and wannabe warlord. Throughout the show, Charlie and her crew, mostly Charlie, because the rest of them don't really give a damn except for Vaggie, who's only doing it because Charlie wants to. They try to help redeem Angel and Penches through lots of what I can only describe as therapy exercises, positive speaking, icebreakers, activities. This is why it's a rehab center and not a hotel. The 2 of them aren't here to just lounge about. There's an active plan that Charlie is trying to enact on them. And while we don't see these changes right away, over time we do get to see it have an effect on them both. Especially Serpentious, who, during a battle against Heaven's army, sacrifices himself for the sake of his friends. This sacrifice then leads to one of the last scenes of the final episode where we see that Serpentious' soul actually was redeemed, bringing him into heaven in a new holier form. Beyond his color palette, changing to match the other denizens of heaven, he also has some smaller touches that make his appearance much friendlier. His hat, which initially has an evil one-eyed grin, is now replaced with an innocent open eye. His cobra hood changed to look more like fanned out angel wings, and a whole lot of hearts just plastered all over his body. While he's still the same Serpentious we know, it's clear that heaven has a sort of dress code. So that's what we'll be taking a look into. Now that we know redemption is possible for souls damned to hell, I wanted to try and take these wretched things and give them a holy redesign. Just enough to show that they're still the demons they were in hell, but painting them in a big heavenly makeover. But I'm not going to go into how they managed to get redeemed. Figuring out ways for these terrible people to prove they've changed is just not a can of worms I'm interested in. This is all about design, not character arcs. Well, except one, but you'll see why. Anyways, prepare for some wonkiness since I've never drawn in this art style before, and let's get right into it.
I told you, I can handle myself, baby.
So, the first thing I did when designing these was try to get a grasp of what kind of clothes people in heaven wear, and just like I thought, modesty seems to be in fashion. Everyone in heaven is much more covered up than the people in hell. Well, except for the small group of angels who show up during the Welcome to Heaven song, but I think that's just so they can make a point that people in heaven are attractive. It doesn't look like the norm. So, for Angel Dust, we'll be giving him more concealing clothes. No cleavage, no short shorts, nothing. Actually, a few things I considered depend on what heaven is as a culture. The show clearly seems to take a lot of inspiration from Christianity and other related religions, so following that logic, I had to think if heaven would be anti-LGBTQ. I mean, if this is based on the Christian heaven, which it definitely seems to be, then similar to the Christian Bible, it might be that heaven doesn't look too fondly on gay people. But then I read into Serpentious' details, mostly because I was trying to fucking grasp shit like winners and sinners, hellborn, whatever. What I saw was that Pentious is apparently bi. If he is bi and Sir Pentious was able to make it in heaven, then I think that implies heaven doesn't have a rule against gay people, meaning there should be no issue with Angel Dust keeping his more effeminate clothing articles. Not to imply that only gay men would dress femininely, just that if heaven was anti-LGBT, they probably wouldn't like Angel Dust wearing anything less than traditionally masculine. Actually, now that I think about it, Vaggy's a lesbian and she was literally an angel. So you know, I think that just shows more that it's fine. Beyond this, we'll also be adding more heart shapes to Angel's clothes, just like Sir Pentious has on. I'm guessing since redeemed sinners still have a bit of devilness to them, their redeemed forms try to overcompensate with more cutesy features. Because hearts are not a regular thing for angels to have on, I checked, at least in the first season. Besides, with Angel being so associated with love is the word I'll use, I think lots of hearts work for him anyways. He already has some on him to begin with after all. Besides that, my new design for him doesn't look too different, so just to make sure you can really tell this is a new form for him, I'm gonna swap his colors to be more focused on blue instead of red, just to really sell it. Now we just slap a halo on his head, and we've got a redeemed Angel Dust. I can't wait to finally watch Season 2, just to see the rules I came up with for designing these are completely wrong. Please, if I'm wrong, don't tell me. Let me live my lie just for a bit.
Why do you think I'm here? You actually think I'd be cleaning bottles and listening to you fucks bitch and moan all the time if he wasn't forcing me?
I like being forced.
Keep that to yourself, Niff.
Husk is... well, to be honest, he's already kind of ahead of me. He's got hearts all over him, a fuzzy appearance, and even wings. Not even bat wings like you'd assume for demons in most media. No, he has feathery wings, like an angel. What the hell, man? If it weren't for his colors and his grumpy attitude, you would think this is an angel, right next to all the other ones. Well, I guess one thing we can still change about him is his clothes. In the small flashback we get of Husk when he was an overlord, he had on a proper suit. So I think this implies his new shirtless appearance we know him for is just something Alastor makes him wear. Which would make sense considering Alastor definitely gets a kick out of humiliating Husk. So in heaven, he finally gets to wear a shirt. After that, we're left with the same problem as before. He's just already too cutesy, which is obviously the point. The joke is that this swearing, deep-voiced, alcoholic gambling addict has a fucking heart-shaped nose and a fuzzy tail. But that doesn't mean we can't double down. To start, we use classic shape language to get rid of a bunch of his sharp edges, replacing them with rounder ones. That'll be his ears, the end of his tail, and most of his hair/fur in general. After that, we'll scrub out his references to casinos and gambling, since, well, let's face it, gambling is definitely a sin by heaven's standards. You know what they say, if it's illegal in Utah, it's illegal in heaven. A classic saying, of course. Also, I got rid of his hat since it felt the same as his shirtless suspenders thing. Just something he did because he had to. And finally, I wanted to find the opposite of a gambler. That way he still has some kind of gimmick. But what's the opposite of a gambler? A charity worker? What the hell is a charity worker dressed like? No, I need something else. Something that still works with Husk, but is much more innocent. Much more pure.
Dude, bingo!
Bingo?
Bingo! 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 Bongo!
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
You are correct, sir. Bingo, bitches!
Hey, Niffty, what you been up to, girlie?
Fighting bugs.
And, how's that going for you?
They're winning. But not for long.
Niffty is honestly the character I forget about the most. Besides the fact that she's incredibly tiny, she's also just not very focused on as a character. Sure, we get that small scene of Angel protecting her from Valentino, but that's more so a moment for Angel Dust. You could do the exact same kind of scene with a puppy. Just show that Angel does feel protective of something he cares about, and we get the same result. Well, whatever, it's not like we're delving into character personalities with this. We're focusing on their designs. For Niffty, there's not too much to go off of since she's already dressed very nice, besides a few blood splatters. She also always has this big happy smile on her face. Big crazy one, but it's happy nonetheless. But that doesn't mean there aren't still ways to clean her up and make her fit for social contact that doesn't involve stabbing. To start, I'll be replacing the blood on her dress to be heart-shaped polka dots. That way we can keep the little breakup of color in her dress. Next, she has these really sharp heels she walks around in. Or maybe they're her feet? I just imagine her scuttling around like Mr. Krabs. Either way, I wanted to give her big boots. Or just bigger feet. That way it looks less like she's just walking around on little knives. Next, we'll replace her neckerchief with a big bow on her back. That way she still has an accessory, but one that looks less tough. And finally, we'll curl and restyle her hair. Her original hair was fine, but I wanted to do something big to show this is a new form for her. And with a design this heavily focused, there's only two parts of her I think really stand out. Her eye and her hair. And it's not like there's much to do with her eye, so here it is. Give her a splash of Heaven Pastel and a halo, and we've got ourselves Redeemed Niffty.
You've been gone a while, and it's not like anybody knows why.
They don't need to know, and don't you worry your fuzzy head about it.
You may own my soul, but I ain't your fucking pet.
But you are.
Alastor. Alastor, Alastor, Alastor. This guy's not getting into heaven, let's be real. He is one of the most sinister characters on this show, with basically everything he does seeming to be some kind of evil scheme. If this show had introduced Alastor as the Satan of this universe, nobody would bat an eye. He fits right in with every other classic, charming devil design we've seen in media. Hell, the show even makes a reference to the devil went down to Georgia, with Lucifer, yes, Lucifer, playing a fiddle against Alastor in the song Hell's Greatest Dad. But he's not all evil. He does have friends and knows how to keep them too. He also genuinely puts in an effort to help Charlie with her mission, but yes, he does claim it's just to watch it all burn. So, I don't know, I could totally see a show like this trying to set him up as the secret big bad, only to later show he does have good in him after all. For his redemption, we'll be doing the same as other characters, taking some of his sharper edges and helping to round them out, like on his jacket or his horns, as well as fixing any tears or holes he has in his clothes. Also, due to the cause of his death being a bullet from a hunter, Alastor takes on a lot of traits of deers, which is why his hair does this little tuft thing where they're sort of ears, but also not. For those, we're gonna really clean them up to make it obvious they're supposed to be deer ears. Specifically, I'm gonna try to make him look more like Bambi's shape, since he's the most iconic innocent deer in media. Next, I wanted to change the way his jacket ends, replacing it with a tailcoat, since in my opinion, it just gives him a more pianist kind of vibe. And finally, to finish it off, I wanted to make his staff a little less sinister looking. Well, it's already fine. I think it could still be given a little more to make it really fit in. So just to top things off, we'll give his staff its own heavily makeover, and may I present Redeemed Alastor.
Chinese chai. I'm not seeing you on my list here. That's so odd.
My dad got me this meeting, so maybe
Dad.
try
Okay.
Lucifer? Morning Star?
Oh! Yeah!
Charlie Morningstar, or as my friends and I like to call her, Charlie.
Charlie!
Now, there really isn't any redemption for Charlie. Unlike the other hotel members, she's not actually a lost soul. She's a demon, in and out. So I don't know if there is such a thing as redemption for her in the first place, since she hasn't been damned to hell, she just kinda lives there. Anyways, this is why I had to find stuff about hellborn demons and sinner demons and whatever you call it. It's clearly a difference between things born in hell and human souls that were forced to live in hell. So we'll be tackling Charlie a little differently than the rest of the cast. Instead of just a simple palette swap and yassification, we're going to do a classic swap AU. At least, I think that's what it would qualify as. I'm not really sure. Look, Charlie is from hell and is super happy, so we're going to redesign her to be from heaven and be super not happy. We all clear? Good. In this version of Charlie, I imagine her goal this time around wouldn't be to save the souls of hell, but rather encourage the other angels to stop the exterminations in general. She's disillusioned. While her goal in hell was to help show her subjects hope and encourage them to strive for more, in heaven she'll be more so trying to wake people up to the corruption and hidden darkness that heaven keeps them blind to. Initially, I wanted to give her a more punk outfit to match her rebellious mission, but I don't think clothes like that even exist in heaven from what we see, unless you count the exorcist masks. But also, Charlie is just much more diplomatic than edgy, so I think she'd more likely want to come off as professional, rallying people with the truth in a nice suit, as opposed to calling them sheeple or something. So since she already wears a suit in hell, we'll just take the same one, but replace her bow tie with a more professional necktie, as well as color her hair black to help her stand out more amongst the bright and colorful denizens of heaven. And finally, Charlie would probably want people to sympathize with demons, as well as show proof of what she's talking about. So I think she would wear horns from an exorcist's helmet, both showing that there is an army whose duty is to slaughter demons, but also to give her an appearance closer to the people she's trying to stand up for. Anyways, that's my reimagining of Charlie as Heavenborn. And that's it. Heavenly redesigns for the Hazbin Hotel cast. Can't wait to finally watch the new season and see how I got all my assumptions and guesses completely wrong. Also, look, I know I skipped Baggy. It's literally because we see her in both designs already. She has a demon outfit and an angel outfit. There's not much to do there. But as for the ones I did do, I hope you enjoyed this video. I still plan to do that video essay, just later. Definitely not until after season 2 wraps up. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next video. Don't ask what it will be, I've learned not to tell you since I'll probably change my mind. Anyways, thanks for watching, and of course, stay cool.